Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.
Shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pound, Pure Deliciousness. Appreciate you. Everybody who subscribed to this new channel, man, much love, man. I appreciate the support. Everybody who's over on my regular station, Banky Pound, 33 years of prison stories, I appreciate the support, man. 2022, we're gonna try some new things. We're gonna explore. We're gonna grow. We're gonna be innovative and creative. I'm gonna show y'all a lot of different ways how I had to do things when I was incarcerated. And I want y'all to understand this is something that you may never have to do, something I pray that you never have to do. But it's just knowledge. It's just open knowledge and just show you what people are really going through behind that wall, what they got to do to survive, what they got to do to make ends meet, what they got to do to get things done that we all out here in the free world, you know, take for granted. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to show y'all today how we had to cook before they let us get microwaves. Because once upon a time in prison, we couldn't even get microwaves, you know. And then also, even when we could get microwaves, we went through periods where we was on lockdown for, you know, maybe weeks or months at a time. So when that going on, you cannot get no hot food, you cannot get hot water. And dudes were creative and innovative, and they came up with ways to get all of this done. Whatever they took away from us, we found a way to get it back, and this was one of the ways. I remember when I first saw this, man, I was in such awe, and it just blew my mind because somebody could come up with something like this. But what this is how they created what they call a stinger. And a stinger ain't nothing but some metal, some cords, and some tape, string, or whatever you want to use, and they connect these things together, plug them in the socket, and put it in water. Now I know the first thing that come to y'all mind is that's how you get shot, and that's what I thought. That is how you get shot, but in this case, it creates some type of reaction that warms the water up, gets the water piping hot, and when the water gets piping hot, you can use that water to toast bread, cook food, and I mean bringing food out of it just as hot and steaming as it would be in a stove. So it was amazing, and I was in awe with it. I'm going to try to attempt to show y'all how to do it today so y'all can see what was going on back then and what's probably still going on in there now in certain prisons. So to get this stuff started, man, what we're going to do is this. Let me show y'all everything that's going on right now. Okay, come over here. Let me show you this. All right, first thing, let's talk about the stinger, what the stinger is. The stinger is, and the only thing we had was we could get fingernail clippers, maybe not this big, but when we couldn't get this stuff like this, what they would do is find any piece of metal that was, you know, on the yard, a piece of fence, some broken something, anything that they could break up. But in this case, a lot of people use these fingernail clippers as well. So what we would do with this is we would take this and we would have to find a piece of wood, or in there we use maybe popsicle sticks, but out here, this right here fits perfect. So we would take this piece of wood, right, and we would take this wood and we would put it between the two pieces of metal so they wouldn't touch each other, right? Then when we had it like that, what we would do is tie a string around it or tape. Sometimes we could get this type of tape and we get it from the maintenance man. Somebody would get something from the maintenance man. Somebody would steal something from the maintenance man or whatever. But it would start circulating around and people would sell it. But what you would do is take this tape right here and you would just take, just to show y'all how it goes, we would take this and we would keep these separated like this. And we would put it together. But most of the time, what we would use is old torn up sheets, and we would wrap it around there a whole lot, wrap it around there, make sure it was nice and secure, right? This is what we need. Then we would take an old cord that will probably come from somebody's old broken TV. When the TV is broke and you can't use it no more, they would sell the cord because somebody could always use the cord. And we would take this cord, and actually what we had to do with the cord was, only part we needed basically was this part, the plug in the wall. But a lot of times when we just had the cord, dudes would splice and stick those two pieces of cord in the wall itself, you know, in the socket. I would never do that because I was scared I was gonna get shot. But a lot of people do it. I've seen a lot of people do it and they did not get shot. But on the other end, what they would do is they would break this end off, because this end is the part that would go to a stinger. So they would actually break this end off right here, and they would splice this part in the middle, just to get these wires out like this. And they would twist the wires up on both ends. Normally for that part, you know, like I say, they would burn it, you know, to melt it down just so they could get that piece out. We did have lighters in there at the time. They would get that piece out. Same thing, they would twist that, and what you would do is you would connect these. You would connect them to each piece of the metal. But that's why you had the wood in between, so they would still stay separated. And, you know, as always, like I say, that's just giving you the basic idea. They would do that, and then they would take, you know, the tape, the electrical tape, and they would still separate these two. They would wrap it up real good, and wrap it all up so it wouldn't none be touched. And once nothing wasn't touched, they would wrap each piece up and make sure that the wires was not touching each other. And then, like I say, they would secure the whole thing, wrap the whole thing up. I'm just giving y'all this small example so you can basically know how it was made. So once they get all of that stuff wrapped up, then, and this is secure, they would take this part and plug it in the wall. But they would not plug it in the wall until it was in the water. They would take and get a bucket, right? In there we could find 5-gallon buckets, all these different buckets they used in prison to paint and do other things. Dude would secure the bucket. You get the bucket and then you fill it up with water. When you fill it up with water, then you put salt in the water. When you put the salt in the salt is to activate the stinger to make the water start boiling. Also, it is so the metal won't rust out as fast when you use salt. If you just use regular water, it'll work, but it'll take longer to heat up. But when you use the salt and put it in there, it activated real fast, and it starts cooking and bubbling real fast, which is what you want to be able to cook, to be able to produce that heat. But then once you had that secure, you would drop that in the water and you would plug it up, and you would automatically see when you add the salt to it, it would start activating. Once it start activating, it start bubbling. Then you would get some type of plastic like we have here, which I'm going to show y'all in a minute. And you would cover the top up, put a string or something around it, tie it up so it would condense all the heat on the inside. Once you had that done, when you create your food, which we're going to do, then you would take your food after you created it and put it on the inside and cover it back up. On the top, it would get so hot and so, you know, heat to the touch that you could actually put bread on it and put butter on the bread and flip it over, and you got toast bread. Now I know this sounds amazing, this sounds crazy, but it's actual and factual, and we're gonna show y'all. Cause right now I've already got one. I'm using a small trash can, and it's already bubbling. If you get up on it, you can see the smoke coming up out of it, and this is what the end result will look like. Voila, magic. This is what it looked like. This is when it's already on and it's already working and activated. I'm gonna open it for a second just to show y'all what it looks like on the inside. But this is the cord, and it's already on the inside right here. You can see where the cord goes down in it. We got the string coming around it, but this right here gets piping hot. Now, when I first came in the prison, when I was in the wall, they didn't have microwaves or none of that at all. So dudes had big 5-gallon buckets that they made their stinger with, and their stove with. And they used to leave it on all day long because in the wintertime, it would actually produce heat in the cell and act as a heater in your cell and help keep you warm, which you definitely needed in the wall because like 90% of all the windows was already busted out, right? But this is what it looks like on the inside. This is what's going on. Take this string off, and you look on the inside of this, and this is what you got going on. And you're gonna see this heat coming out here. It's vicious. Look at that. Look at that. You see that? Bubbling, 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 waiting for some good old food to be coming in and be cooked up and ate. So, what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna close this back up, and we're gonna get to showing you how we prepare the food and put the food in here and get to the end result, that pure deliciousness. So, we're gonna get educated today. We're gonna learn something new today. I'm gonna show y'all. Then you pull all these sides down to, make it nice and tight on the top. If you could touch that right there, you will see that this is hot to the touch. Put that on there just for a second. Now, are you not amazed yet? Well, you will be. Just hold on. All right. So now we're gonna go ahead and get our gloves on. I'm gonna show you how we used to prepare these meals. And like I tell y'all, man, when I first learned this, man, I'm telling you right now, I was just in awe, man. I was just like, man, these people in here would come up with a way to do anything and everything. And it just amazed me. All right, now I'm gonna show you, like, we used to get these type of meals and stuff in there, but like I say, without a microwave, you couldn't cook them. So why they used to sell them when we didn't have a microwave was beyond me. But people used to take them, if they didn't have that type of stuff, they would just take them and open them and set them in the zinc and try to get hot water. But like I say, even in the wall, we didn't even have hot water in the cell. You only had cold water. So people was eating these, if they didn't have this type of knowledge, they was eating these just regular, just to have some type of nutrition in them, which was crazy in itself. But we're gonna use these. We got a soup. I'm gonna show you what you do with the soup. Even though we didn't have hot water, what you do with the soup was you would just open it up a little bit and just take the pack out, put water in it, and just let it marinate while you prepping your food. And while you do that, the soup would come out like this. I already had one pre-warm, pre-done. The soup would come out like this, which would already be just loose, but it's not cooked, it's cold, you know what I'm saying? But you got your noodles right here. Okay, you always get your green peppers and onions or whatnot for your flavor. This is all we could get. We get that out of the kitchen. But, we had to get a kitchen man and bring it back. That's all we could get. As far as the cheese go, I got these type of cheese right here. And I also got a little slice of Velveeta. But what we would do is we would get blocks of cheese, and we literally had to take the cheese and chop it up piece by piece ourselves to get it like this. We had to do that manually. We got a couple of different seasonings right here. Little barbecue sauce, which is optional, but the barbecue sauce is, we used to get that too, but we used to have to order that. But every now and then we'll get it, so if you did get it, you can use it, but if you didn't have it, it's optional, you didn't have to use it. Right here, we have a little, I got a couple of pieces of sandwich meat to show you too. I'm using a small stove now. Like I say, we usually have a bigger bucket, but I can show you too as well, how we used to, you know, get deli meat or either bologna. When we was in there, it was just bologna and cheese or something like that, and you wanted to dress it up. Maybe every now and then we get a slice of turkey. You could dress it up. You could also heat that up, toast you some bread, and have you a hot sandwich as well. So let's get the prepping here. Now, we always was able to get bags in there. We always was able to get bags. I'm using these type because this is what I can get out here. But we was always able to get some type of bags in there because the administration provided bags for, you know, the trash cans and other things like that. So we was always able to get these in one shape, form, or another. And I'm gonna show you what we used to do when we had these and how it came into play. Yeah, and I'm gonna show you how we used to use these bags. Like I said, they provided a whole lot of bags in there. So what we used to do, this one is already cut open. What we used to do, we used to get the bag. We didn't have scissors, so we used razor blades. But, you know, I'm improvising out here right now to save time. But we used to get the bags and just open the bags up. Get on these bags. And we just used to cut it somewhere. And oh, piece of equipment ain't working. Alright, so we used to cut the bags, open some anywhere on the sides just so we could open and spread the bag out to be able to put our meal on. Now, mind you, this is important because of the simple fact of, like I said, you got that boiling water in there, but you got that that's metal. You got that metal, you got string around it and all that, which is all nasty. So you want to make sure your bag is secured, your food is in, so when you put it in there, it does not touch the water and the water cannot get in. This stuff will float on top of the water. But most dudes used to use a bag because, like I say, you had to pay for it to get them, but I used to double and triple mine up just to make sure that it wouldn't touch the water, it wouldn't spring a leak or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? When you open it, if it had sprung a leak and you saw some water or something in it, you had to throw the food away because that metal and stuff like that was contaminated and you ain't want to put that in the inside of your body. So anyway, what we used to do is we used to prep your food like this. This is how we used to prep the food and get the food ready. Okay, like say for these meals, this is not even cooked, but we want to open it. I'm going to see how much we might need. Let me see. We open this here, and you see how this is still, you know, straight out the pack. We'll put that stuff there. And I'm talking, you can make all types of meals, you know, with this here. All types. Whatever it is, you will be able to cook it in the stove because it's going to work just as good. Alright. Matter of fact, instead of doing it like that, sometimes what we used to do, take these noodles, you put a little noodles in the bowl, put a little of this in the bowl, get that stuff, start mixing it up. Then we should have put this in the bowl as well from the beginning, but we're gonna do it now because top chefs mess up too. But it's all going right there anyway, but just for the purposes of this, so y'all can see, we start to mix that stuff up, get it nice and mixed up. We start adding our little vegetables to them. And on this bowl, so you can see what's going on inside this good old bowl. We get that stuff in there. We get that nice and mixed all up. Now, all this stuff is cold right now. But then we got to put our little seasonings in here. Put your little seasoning there. A little Old Bay. A little garlic pepper. Garlic salt. A little Mrs. Dash in there. We used to get Mrs. Dash in there. They used to rob us as usual. It was sky high. A little bottle like this cost about $5 and something. You know. You got your seasoning all mixed up in there. And you put your little chili pouch in there for the soup. That's even more good flavor. You start mix that up. Right, and we're gonna drop some of this cheese in there. We got the mozzarella. Spread that little mozzarella all up in there. We got some triple cheddar here. Like I said, we had to hand chop all this stuff up ourselves. We had to hand chop it all up into small pieces like that. Look at it though. Look at that stuff looking all good, looking ready. You understand me? When it comes out, it's gonna be a masterpiece. This stuff gonna be cooked, nice, warm, hot, piping hot, just what you need. Especially when you in the conditions that we was in. So we get some of this good old Velveeta out here. Break that up a little bit. Sprinkle that stuff up in there. You go back to getting your mix on. Mix it all up. And you can use whatever you want to use. You know, with us, we use whatever was available. A lot of dudes, they love tuna in there, man. A lot of dudes use these meals to make tuna. You know, tuna casseroles, tuna melts. All of that stuff is what they used in there. But as you can see how it looks in the bowl, you know, it's all nice and mixed up and everything. That's when you would take and when you would spread it out on here. Put your meal on there. Put your meal right there. Now, and like I told you before, you know, the barbecue sauce is optional. Depends on what type of flavors you like and what type of food you want. But you can mix a little bit of that up in there as well. And once you got your meal decent and prepped the way you want it, what you would do is you would grab the bag, from all ends, and you would secure the bag, twisting it up. Get it the way you want it. Now, in there too, we also had, you know, we would tear up sheets and whatnot, you know, which was a charge if they caught you, you know, destruction of state property. But we would tear sheets up and stuff to tie the bag up, make sure the bag is secure. I would always wrap mine extra tight because I was extra scared. I was new at this, so I wanted to make sure there won't nothing gonna get in there that was gonna hurt me. But evidently I made it through, so it was all good. Tie that up nice and tight, right? Then we come back with another bag. Make sure you got everything, all the ends secure. And you would do the same thing. Now, this may seem like a lot, but it's definitely not a lot when you ain't got no other options. You ain't got no other options. This is people making something out of nothing. I would twist the top of the bag all the way up myself and try to get all the loose ends tucked in. I would check the bag and make sure it wasn't leaking, wasn't no holes or anything in it. Now, like I say, for me, normally I would go 2 to 3 bags myself. I wasn't even tripping about, wasting anything like that. So what I would do, then you would take and you would open this homemade cooking machine. As you can see and hear it, get up, you hear it bubbling. Yeah, hot. And you would literally take that and set it up in here. See that? And she would float. She would be right there. Sometimes dudes would do like this to make sure it wouldn't submerge. So they'll know that it's right there. And they'll come back across like this. It's depending on how big of the bucket you had. You see, if this bucket was bigger, then I would be able to put different displays in there. I might fix this and, be fixing something hot with a sandwich or something. So then you would come back around. Wrap it back up, securing all that heat up in there. Tighten it up, put your nice little bow in there. And make sure it's tight. Pull in all the ends. So it's tight like a drum. See? Now, if it was a bigger one, what I would do is I would have prepped and made the sandwich meat as well. Same way, you lay it out on there, put your cheese on it, put your dressings and stuff on it, you lay it out, and then you wrap that up and set it in there as well. So when you did that, if you was making the sandwich, all you would have to do was, after you put that in there in the stove as well, you would get you a couple of slices of bread. You would spread your bread out. We was always able to get butter because it seemed like they put that on every tray, even though it didn't, you didn't have nothing really to put it on. And you take you a couple of little slices of butter and you spread it on your bread. Best you could.
and you put that right up there on top of the plastic, right? You would try to butter both sides. Yeah, we found a way to get it done. And I'm telling y'all right now, if y'all ain't all right now, just imagine what I was when I first seen this stuff. I thought these people was crazy. I said, man, what is y'all? And boy, you would be surprised. So you would do that, and then we would take a bowl or something, place it on top of it, which would condense the heat, and then we would set some on top of it. And all we would have to do from there was go start cleaning up your mess and, you know, sit back and relax and watch TV. And it ain't gonna take you no more than about 10, 15 minutes. And you gonna have a piping hot meal that you was not able to get if you had not created this. You would be sitting in the cell, eating cold food, and being hungry if you didn't eat the cold food. So this right here was a lifesaver. It provided a whole lot of good hot food that we was not able to get under the conditions that we was under. Alright, now that you done got your little area cleaned all up and everything while you sit down and you done watch your little TV, you know, you done just kick back and let the thing do what it do, and then you wait about 15, 20 minutes, you know, and then you go ahead and pull it out and you'll be able to see what you got. Let's get up on here and see what's going on. First thing we're gonna do, we take the top off, and as you can see, we got toast. See that? We got toast. Voila. Okay. Now you could either do one or two things. You could unplug it. Go ahead and watch you see when you unplug it. Watch how you see how the air leaves up out of it. Wow. You unplug it. And we go back up in here and we see what's going on. You seeing if this stuff's still working. Open it up. See all that smoke. Boom. Sitting up in there. You take it, bring that stuff out. Check, make sure you ain't got no holes. Okay. Sit it down, let's see. Get this stuff open. See, like I said, I would usually use 3 bags myself personally. But the main thing is you just don't want to delete. Now open this first bag, I would check it. See if any water is in that bag. And I see none. So, you're looking safe so far. Nah, yeah, we're good right there. Check the bag. Everything good. So we'll open the other one. That's when we get to the good part. We see what's going on. Right? Ooh-wee. Look at that. Look at that stuff. Look at that. Alright. So what I would do, voila. Get up on this stuff. Look at that. Look at this stuff here.
See that? See that? All that hotness coming out. You see that smoke coming out there? Now, look at that. Piping hot. Smell it. Smell it. Smell it. Smell it. And you can smell this stuff. You would understand what I'm talking about. Boom. Now we got that. This stuff up out the way. And you know a meal ain't a meal unless you got some chips. It ain't a meal unless you got them chips with it. And we gonna see what we working with. But look at this here, man. This stuff was created by a homemade stove by dudes that was in prison that had ingenuity to come up with this and do what they had to do when they had to do it because they was without. That's how they was. They was without, so they had to come up with a way to get their own thing done. And this is what they did, man. They sat in their cell and they sat down there and they created this stuff, man, and made it so they could have some hot food on their own. And they was able to eat hot food, man. So we gonna see what she hitting on. She smells delicious. Oh, she right. She right. And she hot. Look at that. Look at that. Man, you couldn't even ask for better than this here. Especially under conditions that we was under, you couldn't ask for more. She too hot. Look, yep, we got little toast if you want it. But this is how we had to get it done. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. She right, she ready, she piping hot. Now, you've learned something brand new today. You've learned something that you probably never seen before. And this works. This is what we had to do, so this is what we did. When there's no way, we'll find a way. And I want y'all to see this so y'all get an idea of what people might be going through in there, what people had to go through in there just to be able to eat a nice hot meal. So, you know, we fortunate out here. We very, very fortunate out here, man. So never take that for granted because you got people in there that's living like this because this is how they gotta live. But it's the best that they can do at the time. And that's what they do, man. And I applaud every soldier in there that's in the struggle. Every soldier in there that's got to do what he got to do to get the things that he need and to, you know, get some type of comfort and peace in himself, man, while he going through what he going through. But I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. If you ain't never seen this before, man, share this. Tell me about it in the comments, what you think about it, man. Just keep in mind, man, this is positive energy over here, man. We seek to uplift, educate, motivate, you know, and that's what we trying to do over here. So I appreciate you all, man. Thank you for joining this channel, man. Banky Pound, Pure Deliciousness. Make sure you're over there on my other channel as well, Banky Pound, where we got 33 years of prison stories. We got it jumping over there. We going down in line with every prison that I done been into. But this right here, delicious. I'm hungry. I don't make food just for props. I'm going to eat this. So y'all have a great day. Be safe, be smart, make good decisions. Peace and love out there. Go fix you something good.
The Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.